Hotep, good day. Assalamu alaikum, Hotep. This is Brother Biko Hini Ill, Mixing Technologies. About ready to do something I've been wanting to do for a while. About ready to make up a bunch of EM. I got 5 gallons here that I've been making for, oh God, I made this about a year and a half ago. And I got 5 gallons of organic blackstrap molasses. I want to mix these two together with basically this would be 10 gallons, and then I'm going to add another 90 gallons, and then I'm going to get us about 110 gallons. In addition to making it more potent for this, I'm going to use some fish fertilizer and also some liquid kelp. And last, I'm going to put in some sea minerals to make our EM even more potent and help break down any of the nasty toxins in the soil and water, and make healthy water and soil. Looking to make tests here in Baltimore on the toxic soil that's all throughout the city, and see if we can, for a very cheap price, make all the soil in Baltimore ready to grow food. So that way we can have an organic food renaissance here and not have to worry about the toxicity that was in the paint, the lead paint in particular, in the soil, in addition to the runoff that goes to Chesapeake Bay and helps lessen the life of that. I'm also going to be using the EM on, I got a couple of my own raised bed gardens here that I'm going to be growing some organic food with, so I'll let you know later in the summer about how that turned out for me, how well I'm eating, whether my skin looks better, I get less gray hair, etc., etc. Maybe grow an inch or so. But anyway, this is Brother Biko Hini Ill, Mixing Technologies, and just some solutions here in Baltimore that I'm making away. All right. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is get about half of this barrel here filled with hot water. So I'm just basically going to take right from the tap. I got this hooked up to my tap line, and some will fill it up. Using straight tap water from Baltimore Municipal System. Didn't let it sit out for a day because the EM will take care of any of the chlorination by itself. So you can do this with well water. If you want to leave the water out for 24 hours to help it dechlorinate, that'll help also. You know, however you like. Some people run it through their, if they got a alkaline water machine, what have you, they do that too also. But I'm just going to use straight tap water because I figure this is the way most people are going to be able to use it here in Baltimore. So, you know, every man's version this one is going to be. So yeah, we're just going to let this fill up to about halfway. Then we're going to add our molasses, then our EM, and then we're going to swish it around, put in our kelp, liquid kelp, put in our fish fertilizer and our sea minerals, and then swish around, then fill it on up to about maybe about 3-4 gallons from the top. And so it's got some room to breathe, because it will, I'll need to burp this from time to time. But anyway, this is just the first stage, filling up with water. Alright, I'm just got half of my drum filled up with water, and now I'm just transferring some molasses into something I can pour, and get this into that nice hot water that's in the 55-gallon drum. This is the first stage, and probably the messiest and stickiest, definitely the stickiest one. So this is just to show you how I'm getting it done. Make a little mess, making little mistakes, but hey, that's what making it happen is all about. Getting your hands dirty, making stuff happen. Alright, I get a couple scoops more molasses. We're almost halfway through this 5-gallon. We're going to get 2.5 gallons of molasses in this one, 2.5 gallons of EM, about 8 ounces of liquid kelp, 8 ounces of fish fertilizer, and 8 ounces, I think maybe 4 ounces of the sea minerals. But essentially this is stage 1. You see it? Messy but wonderful. Alright, this is my second 55-gallon drum, and I think I got the wherewithal just to make this happen just without a funnel. So I'm going to pour this right in and get going this other 2.5 gallons going into my other jug or other drum. Alright, I will get the excess later, but essentially that is the first stage, getting the molasses. Now we got to mix it up because this stuff does want to kind of congeal, but since we got that hot water, make mixing up a lot easier. Alright, give you a little shot of this. And you can put the top on if you're worried about getting splashed on. Which might not be a bad idea because you can really move it around and get it mixed in there. So that'll make it nice and frothy on the inside. Okay, so we got 1 gallon, 1 barrel. Now I'm going to take this other one, all my accoutrements. Oops, let me give you this shot. Hose out, put cap on. Where is my other cap? Right here. Put this on. And then we can get this one switched around and mixed up. Also. You can hear that? See that? Already from the expander. That molasses and the hot water mixing together. Okay, so that's basically your first stage, and then we're going to put 2.5 gallons of EM in both of these barrels, and then we'll fill it all up with the water, add our fish fertilizer, our liquid kelp, and then we're ready to set it back and in the incubation chamber, let it sit for a month. Alright, next I'm going to add the mother substance, which has been in this bucket for about a little over a year, so we can make activated EM. And so I'm just going to hold on, I need to stir this up first. Alright, now that I've given my EM a good stir, I know it's all mixed in, and all the good stuff is going to get mixed in right along with and get it to where I need it to be. So we're going to just basically take half of this, put it in one 55-gallon barrel, and then the other half in the other 55-gallon barrel. Be very careful not to waste any of it. I'm sure you can come up with a better way than mine, but I'm just doing this on the fly. And low budget, get it done, you know what I mean? So yeah, just take half of this. And then I'm going to add in my sea minerals, my liquid kelp, and my fish fertilizer, and so that make a real good, vibrant culture. And so in about a month's time, we will have 110 gallons worth of EM. And starting today on July 8th, because I want it on the 8th of August, which is my dearly departed brother's birthday. So I wanted to honor his day with a little get out of broke, some self-determination, some make it happen as you see fit, because that's the kind of man he was. He chose to be homeless the last 10 years of his life than participate in this system. Didn't always agree with that decision, but I respected it because the man wanted to be living according to his own terms. Nobody else's. Anybody who's been part of this system and had to pay taxes, and as it was him, he was in military, Coast Guard, and you know, you get to see things. But anyway, we're going to get this all in this one, and then in this one, and then we're going to put our minerals in and let it start to ferment. All right. Just going to pour the rest of the EM as careful as I can into this one, in our second 55-gallon barrel. Make happy stuff happen. And all done and sold, ideally I should be able to sell each of these barrels for about $2,700 a piece. I don't think I'll get all that much, but that's the goal nonetheless. And just keep flipping barrels, making more, and You know, supply is something that people need. Get a bit more of the good stuff. You want to make sure you get all that good stuff in there. Any stuff that's on the bottom, just throw a little bit more water in and throw it up in, because this is active culture right here. Split some up, put some in the other one. All right, so the EM's in, and then we're going to take our kelp food. Add about half of this in. All right. And then put the other half of this. Other 55-gallon barrel. And in she goes. And then our other barrel, other half of fish fertilizer. All right, this is kind of like the last stage of it, just to fill it up until you get to being about maybe 2 to 3 gallons from the top. Because the proportions get to make about 100 gallons, so I got basically 10 gallons between the two to play with. So I'm gonna make a little bit more so I can make a little bit more. So, but anyway, this is the last stage, and then I've got to put them in my incubation chamber, which is going to be right in there. Yeah, right in there, right in here. And I'm gonna close this up, and then I'm gonna put a space heater in it. Keep it at 85 degrees. Make sure the stuff stays nice fermenting. In a month's time, I should have a nice robust bunch of EM to spread amongst Baltimore, and hopefully solve some problems and make some new initiatives, and where we can get to the point where talk about cleaning the Chesapeake Bay. But anyway, this is a Bikohini Eel for Maxim Technologies in Baltimore, Maryland, making it happen. All right, peace and love. All right, this is a Biku again, just doing the final stages of all this prep work to get some EM happening for good folks of Baltimore City. I got the last barrels inside the incubation chamber filling up with water. This is the space heater I'm going to use to keep everything nice and warm. And then I'm going to take this big old piece of particle board, cover over this, paint it black so I can get some heat from the sun, so I'm not using as much electricity at times. And for the month of July, August, hopefully I shouldn't use any electricity, but I'm gonna have I'm gonna show a thermometer in there so we can show that we're keeping it at the right temperature. And in about a month's time, we should have some really good EM for, like I said, to be able to show what it does and make a way. All right. All right, y'all. So this is the last bit of this. This is going to be the incubation chamber right now. I'm filling up with the water for hot water for my last 55-gallon barrel. I'm just going to move this cover right over the front, and then it's going to create an incubation chamber right in here. I got my space heater right here. I'm going to got on very low so it's safe, and keep it at 85 degrees. And then I'm going to do updates to show maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks what it looks like, so you can see temperature, what the EM looks like, and know that you're getting a good batch of EM. So anyway, this is the last stage before we close it up and let it do its thing for a month. All right, thank you all.